Just off camera.
Yeah, and just today because I had to turn things, because I was telling Stan I had to move the carpet that was in my bedroom because my toilet decided to leak all over the place. So I moved the carpets out of my bedroom into the living room. And so it's in the way, and instead I just changed the angle of the camera. Okay, do it, because I won't put okay, so starting, I'm at a different angle, so I feel like I'm in the right spot. Feet underneath your pelvis, toes face forward. Just ground through your feet, lengthen up your spine, take a nice big inhale up. And exhale, one more time, big inhale up. Exhale to dive over to your toes, drawing your abs in to start already. And then hands to the floor or to your shins or wherever they can go. And then you can just run your knees out. And then begin to walk your hands all the way out to your plank position. And finding your plank here. Sliding the shoulders away from the ears, press the ground away from you. Really press your fingertips down. And then feel like you can slide your shoulders away from your ears. Draw the abs up and in. Inhale on your exhale, take it to downward dog. And run the knees out here. Finding some stretch. I wonder, there wasn't a problem logging on, right? Because Neil's not on and he would have told me if he wasn't coming to class. And then roll yourself back forward into your plank. Float the right leg up, point the toes, and a little tiny pulse in the leg. Yeah, give enough room. The whole way up? Okay. And lower that leg all the way back down, lift the other leg up, point the toes, and little tiny lift up. Keeping the hips square, draw those abs up and in. And lower that leg down, rounding your spine back up into downward dog. Rotate so the eye of the elbow is facing forward, and then bend your elbows backwards to tap towards the mat and straighten your arms. Bend and straighten. So staying in the downward dog and just bending your elbows to touch the mat and straighten. Bend. 2 more. And last one. And back into your down or into your plank. So the shoulders away from your ears. Bend your elbows halfway and straighten. 2 more like that, halfway. And straighten 1 more time. And straighten, take it to downward dog. And take a breath. And pedal the knees out, whatever feels good. And then walk your hands back towards your toes. Separate the feet a little bit wider. So they're gonna be about shoulder width apart. Roll your spine up to stand, and we're gonna come into our squats. So you're gonna hinge at the hip, push the hands forward, push the hips back, and come up and squeeze the glutes. Push the hips back, press up and squeeze. Draw the abs in. So the hips push backwards, and you're gonna sit into a chair. Knees track forward for 5. Pull the belly in. Breathe. 2. Hold this one down. And then little tiny pulses down. We aren't going to stand back up because we're going to go back into our plank in a moment for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, bring your hands down to the mat, step back out into your plank, and slowly lower yourself all the way to the mat. Folding forearms together, glue the forehead to the forearms, and just melt into the mat. Feel your hip points and pubic bone press down into the mat. You can shake your pelvis out, whatever feels good to release. And then find that the hip points and pubic bone connect you to the mat. Draw the abs up and in, draw your ribs up and in together, keeping the thighs on the mat. Float just the upper body up. Lifting just the upper body up off the mat. Lift your elbows slightly, and then slowly lower it down. So thinking about length, not height, lift the upper body. And lower 1 more time. Float just the upper body up, lift your elbows slightly, and lower everything down. Float the right leg up, and lower, and just the left leg. So just 1 leg, and jump. Lift, and lower. Keeping your pelvis super glued in place as you lift a thigh up off the mat and lower. 1 more single leg. And then both legs together. Ensemble. Lift and lower. So upper body is completely relaxed as you float the legs up. Lift the thighs and hold, and then draw circles. They circle up and around, up and around. So the thighs lift up, engaging the glutes, draw the abs in, and reverse your circle. Are you pulling your abdomen up off of the mat? This is a really easy way to start to find the transverse abdominis. And last one, lower the legs all the way back down. Glue the heels, turn the toes apart, bend the knees, flex the feet. Press your pelvis into the mat, keep your spine long, and float the thighs up and down. And lift and lower. So you're really feeling how your belly can pull towards your spine, which is the feeling you're gonna want when we're laying on our back. That's why sometimes it's easy to start laying on your stomach so you get a little more feedback from the floor to figure out the transverse abdominis. Hold the thighs up, squeeze the heels together, and 10 pulses up. Shoulders are relaxed, toes are only just slightly turned out for 5. And then last one, extend the legs long and shake the pelvis out. Extend the arms long in front of you. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. Draw the abs up and in. Connect your pelvis into the mat. Slide the shoulder blades down and lift your arms and legs above the mat. So feel how you can pull your shoulder blades into your back pockets and then start to swim flutter kick. Try to let your neck be long. Of your chin will go like this. And then lengthen through the top of your head. Yeah, and pull the shoulder blades down the spine. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, lower everything down. And then press yourself back to a child's pose. Take a little breath there. Lengthening those arms long in front of you. I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing anybody on here. Take a breath. One more breath there, getting a little bit longer. And then roll yourself up onto your hands and knees, finding your cat stretch, rounding your spine, drop your head, drop your tail, and then head up, tail up. And into your cat. And into your cow. And then all the way back to center. Magnetize your abs up into your spine as you extend your right arm and your left leg at the same time, relaxing out your right foot. Lengthen through the fingertips, lengthen through the toes, and then bring the hand and the knee back to the mat. Other side, you lengthen. So doing these exercises that you already know, we're alternating sides, so you're not thinking about choreography because your body already knows the exercise. It's easier then to get into the muscles because you don't have to think about what are we doing. You know what it is, now you know what muscles to use. Think about wrapping your ribs up and in. Think about your shoulders sliding away from your ear as you extend your arm. Think about engaging the glute as you extend that leg long. The next time it goes to right arm, we're gonna hold the right arm, left leg out. Make sure that the knee is underneath the pelvis. The pelvis is square, draw the abs in, lengthen even further out. Open the arm and leg away from the body and sweep it back to center. Oh, Neil, there you are, I didn't see you. Maybe it was my view before. I just changed the view and now I was really nervous you weren't on. One more, and bring it back to center around your spine, the knee and the elbow touch, and extend. And Jenny, too, at first, I think my view, I couldn't see you, and I was worried that you didn't make it on, and I knew you were coming. One more.
Logging in.
Oh, okay. I hope that wasn't my ball on there, and then bring your head in the knee.
I don't think so.
Okay, lengthen the left arm, right leg, hold the abs in square, the hips, and then open the arm and leg away from the body, and draw it back to center. Open the arm and leg away, and back to center. Keep that leg long, extend through the toes. Bring this one back to center, and then round your spine, knee and the elbow touch. And extend, knee and elbow poke in, and extend. 2 more. Contract the abs and lengthen. Check in with that left foot. Make sure it's relaxed. Hold it long, and then bring the hand and knee right back down. Draw the abs in, and we'll extend left arm, left leg. So same side of the body, starting with the left arm and the left leg. Same side. And then bring it back to center. No, not opposite. Min. The droit. Go droit, jambe and droit. But bring it back to center. Sorry, my very bad French is trying to translate for Eva when. Because you know this side, you want to just keep doing the same thing you were doing. But we're doing the same side. This time, left arm, left leg stays long. Push. And then unstable. And then pull the knee and the elbow to touch. And extend. Can you relax the foot that's on the mat? Because that foot wants to do all the work to help balance you. Last one. And bring the hand and the knee right back down. Other side. Lengthen, hold. And then the knee and the elbow touch. It's a lot of focus here. One more. And then bring it back to center. Tuck the toes under, draw the abs in. Hover the knees an inch above the mat. And just hold. Hold your belly in. Send your sits bones to the back of the room. Wrap the ribs in. Slide the shoulder blades down for 5, 4, 3, 2. And last one. Come to sit on your booty. Grab your band. Starting with our good posture to begin. Lengthen the arms, slide the shoulder blades down. Lift up long and tall, wide collarbone. And then tuck your pelvis and roll halfway back. Tucking your tailbone underneath you. Come back up to sit. Inhale, exhale, halfway back. And up to sit. Halfway back and hold. Wide collarbone as you twist your rib cage over to the right. Twist the rib cage, shove the shoulder blades away from the ears, and rotate back to center. And twist over to the left. Rotating the rib cage around, and rotate back to center. Take it up to the sky. Take your body back 1 little inch, and then come all the way up to sit. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears, pulling the band apart. Tuck your pelvis, go back halfway, bringing the arms back to the front, right in front of the shoulders. Soften through the quads, twisting your rib cage over to the right. Just the ribs, good. Keeping the legs so still and bring it back to center. Pelvis is still, twisting over to the left. Bring it back to center, take your arms above your head, slide your shoulder blades away from your ears. Go back a little inch, and then pulse the arms apart, pulse. A little pull apart. Or push in, whatever you're doing, just give it a little activation to get through your lats for 3, 2, last one. This time dive up and over to your toes, hook it onto your feet and take a little stretch. Hook it onto your right foot. Let's take the right leg up to the sky. And we'll roll back down. Let's loosen up the hamstring. And breathe. Pushing the right sits bone to the front, and then you can bend and straighten the leg. Breathe. And hold the leg up to the sky. Take the leg back a little bit further, and a little bit further. And one more breath there. And we'll bring the leg back up to the sky, hooking you to the toes. For the calf stretch. Pulling the toes down. So pull the toes. And push your heel up to the sky. And you can point and flex. Point and flex. And then hold the toes down, heel up. And bring the band back to the center of the foot. Spiral the thigh open and out to the side to stretch through your inner thigh. Keep pushing the left hip down and lengthen out of your right heel. Shoulders relax. Take 2 more breaths there, getting a little extra stretch in that inner thigh. And we'll sweep the leg back up to the sky. Anchor the back pocket down, let your leg come a little bit across the body. Stretch to the side of the hip, pushing the right hip away. Back. Keeping the back pocket down. Relax the shoulders. Take one more breath there. And then into your spinal twist. The leg fall across the body, looking in the opposite direction. And extend that right leg back out onto the mat. So that leg feels super long. Grab a hold of your band, peel yourself up. And catch a hold of your left foot. Sit tall and then tuck your pelvis and roll all the way down, taking that leg back up to the sky. And we'll start to stretch here. Breathe into the back of the leg. Maybe this is where you have your bend straighten. Whatever's going to help find a little more length here, but grounding your pelvis down. Shoulders relaxing. Take one more breath there. And we'll release that, hugging into the toes. And coming into your calf stretch. Toes pull down, heel pushes up. And you point and flex. Feels good and easy. And then hold the toes down, heel up. And bring it back to center. Open that leg out to the side for your inner thigh stretch. Being with you guys today though, I now feel a little bit like it's a holiday week. It didn't feel like that at all. And now just having you guys on, I'm like, oh, this is like if we were back in class and it's our Thanksgiving week at the gym. So thanks guys for giving me a little moment of regular. And on the next breath, let's sweep that leg back up to the sky. Anchor the back pocket down and let the leg come a little bit across the body. Stretch the side of the hip, through the side of the leg. Shoulders relax. Two more breaths here, find a little more length through the left side as you keep anchoring the back pocket down. And then you can melt into your spinal twist. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. And you'll extend the leg all the way back out to straight. The legs shake out. Long and loose, hands to the sky. Firm the back of the thighs down. Inhale on your exhale, just the head, neck, and shoulders is going to lift. Just the head, neck, and shoulders, and reach your fingertips towards your feet and lower back down. Inhale, exhale, just head, neck, and shoulders. And this next time, roll up to your belly button. Inhale, exhale, roll up to your belly button just halfway. Up. And then roll back down. Inhale, exhale, halfway. And roll down. This time, roll up halfway, hold. Set the shoulders away from the ears. You've got your beach ball in your hands. Float your right leg a little tiny inch up off the mat. And lower. And left leg, tiny lift. And lower. And right. Pull the abs in. You're sliding your tailbone underneath you. Keeping it small. Last one each way. And then lower yourself all the way back down to the mat. Lower your arms to your sides, bend your knees, bring your feet to your mat. Couple times just arch and imprint just to let go of any tension in your low back. And then settle your pelvis into your neutral, allowing your hip bones to be in line with your pubic bone. Keeping your little bit of lumbar curve, softening your front ribs into your body as you anchor your back bottom ribs down, drawing the navel to the spine. Shoulders relax, and we'll float the right knee into tabletop, knee over the hip, and go in line with the knee, left leg to join it. Shoulders are melted, and marching the right toes out to the top of the mat, and float the leg back up. Left toes out to the top of the mat and lift. Maybe it doesn't go all the way out. It's wherever your pelvis is staying in neutral. Soften the ribs into the body. Inhale and exhale. Shoulders relax. Anchoring your back bottom ribs down. Soften through your jaw. Flex your feet, same movement, lead with the heel. Dip the heel forward and float it up. So watch that you're not coming out of neutral. I know if I'm not paying attention, I want to come out of neutral. My body still wants to do whatever it wants to do. It doesn't always want to be in the correct position. So make sure you're focusing on what's happening in the pelvis by dropping your belly button to your spine, lifting up out of your pelvic floor. Last one. And then bring the legs back up, hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little stretch there. And then bring the legs back to table. Squeeze the thighs together, point the toes, and let your legs both together march halfway forward. And float the legs back up. So starting with a small movement with a double leg to make sure that the pelvis is staying in neutral. And then as you want, you can go a little bit further. And starting to go to your point of control. Maybe you float your hands an inch up off the mat. And maybe you lift your head, neck, and shoulders. And you see that your pelvis is in neutral. Step forward and lift. Zipping your abs in, pushing the thighs together, draw your belly in. 3, 2, soften your jaw. Hold the legs halfway forward. Open the knees. Keep the feet together. Close the knees. Open and close. Open and close. Keeping the legs open, bringing the hands in between the thighs and little reaches forward. Reach, reach. For 5, 3, 2. Last one. Bring the hands back, bring the legs together, and hug everything in. Relax. Let your head rock side to side. We'll bring the legs back to tabletop. Hands reach up to the sky. Keeping the collarbone wide. Inhale, on your exhale, press your hands to your hips as you extend your legs at a high diagonal and bring it back in. So just our hundreds prep for 2 more. Inhale, exhale, hundreds prep, and back in. Inhale, exhale, we hold this one up on the prep, and now we're right into the hundreds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. So the legs can be up to the sky. They can be lowered out to your point of control. They can be in tabletop. They can even be on the mat. You decide where you want your legs to be. They can be in parallel, or they can be in turnout. Maybe you do half in parallel, half in turnout. Maybe you just do what's best. Or you could even be in internal rotation, turning the toes together, heels apart. So maybe you just try a different position today than you're normally in. 2 more sets. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's draw the legs back in and relax everything down. Let your head rock side to side. And we'll bring the feet down to the mat. Walk the feet so they're hip width apart and maybe just a touch in front of the knees. Firm the arms onto the mat, widen through your collarbone, tuck your pelvis and roll your hips up into your bridge. Pushing your hips up high, hug the knees slightly together, press your big toe mound down, press your pinky toe down, ground through your heel but find lightness in your arch, and then sequentially rolling your spine back down into the mat. Inhaling at the bottom, exhale to peel your spine, vertebra by vertebra, pushing the glutes up to push the hips up, and sequentially imprinting your spine back down. We'll do 2 more like that. It's also a nice little massage on the spine, stretching vertebra by vertebra, lifting the hips up, squeeze the glutes, and sequentially down. And you lift and hold this one all the way up. Push the hips up a little bit higher. Feel like you can find more length through your front body, no tension in your shoulders or neck. Tap your butt almost to touch the mat, press up and squeeze the glutes. Tap down, press up and squeeze. Down, up, and lift. Down, up, squeeze. Don't forget the thighs are slightly hugging towards each other. You've got that ball between your thighs. And then hold the hips high and tiny presses up, 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 hold. Firming up the glutes, tiny little lifts, up, hold, up, hold. Wide through the collarbone. If you need to adjust your arms any way to help widen the collarbone, feel free to do that. Or you can always bring your hands up to the sky if you want to add more challenge. Lift the hips up, hold the hips up, lift your heels high. Tap your butt down, press up and squeeze. Almost touch the mat, press up and squeeze. So your heels are lifted as high as you can. Pressing big toe mound down, press pinky toe down. Down, up, and lift. Down, up, squeeze at the top. Down, up, and squeeze at the top. Get a nice hold at the top. Lift, hold. Lift, hold. Now holding at the top, lift a little bit higher. Hug the thighs a touch, and tiny pulses. Little lift, lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, drop the heels, feet to go to the outside edges of the mat, so the feet go wide. You lift your toes to the sky, dig your heels down, tap your butt down, and press up and lift. Tap down, up, and lift. Make sure you're staying in neutral, so you might need to push your sits bones towards your calves. If I don't pay attention, I start to drop into my low back. And then I need to pull my pubic bone a little more towards my face, so I'm not just relying on my low back to do the work. Tap down, up, and lift. Getting a hold at the top. This one stays at the top. Tap the knees to touch and open. Squeeze the thighs together and open. Keeping the collarbone wide, the neck long, the jaw soft. And then hold the knees open, lift the hips a little bit higher, pull your pubic bone a slight bit towards your face, and tiny lift, hold, lift, hold, lift, hold. Can you think about, is it balanced on both sides of the glute? Does one side feel like it's doing more work? Hopefully not. I noticed one side wanted to do a little more on myself. Hold it up, drop the feet, walk the feet back to hip width apart. Widen the collarbone, the hands can stay there or they can come back to the mat. We'll march the right leg to tabletop, extend the right leg straight out, pull it to tabletop, and march it back down. Left leg lift, it goes straight out, drag it in, and place it down. We'll do a few more like that each side, just alternating sides, keeping your pelvis super still. So really focusing on the control. Remember, no tension in the upper body. Keep the collarbone wide. Push the hips up. One more each way. Then we'll meet back with the left leg, or sorry, with the right leg is coming into tabletop. It's going to stay. It extends to the sky, and then tiny press of the hips up, up, hold, lift. Keep pressing your big toe mound into the mat. And now lift your toes. Keep your hips up, lift the left toes, and press up. Lift, lift. Hugging the thighs slightly towards each other for 5, 4. Last one. Place the right foot back on the mat. Both feet are grounding down. Recommit to the hips, staying up. Bring the left leg into tabletop, extend the left leg up to the sky. Pressing the whole right foot into the mat and press up, up, hold, up, hold. Keep lengthening out of your left side body so that left hip doesn't hike up to your rib cage. You want to keep that length between the rib and the hip. And then hold up, lift your right toes, you're digging the right heel down, and again, press up, hold. For 5. Last one, place that foot back on the mat. Both feet are pressing down into the mat. And 10 more little pulses up, press up, lift. Just to balance out the pelvis. Collarbone is wide for 5. Last one, sequentially rolling your spine down into the mat. Once your tailbone comes down, give your knees a little hug. Press your low back into the mat. And then holding onto your legs, roll yourself right up onto your sits bones and into rolling like a ball. Glue the heels, fingertip touch to the ankles, rounding your spine so the shoulders away from your ears. And then roll to your shoulder blades and come right back up and balance on your sits bones. Keeping the spine rounded as you come back and come and balance that to your nails. Good. Roll to your shoulder blades, keeping your heels close to your tush so the shape stays the same. 3 more. And then we'll go right into the abdominal series. 2. Last one. Roll up, balance on the up, extend your left leg long, right leg is in. Roll back to your shoulders and come right back up and balance. Switch sides. So we're rolling like a ball in single leg stretch, just for 3 more each way. So you switch the leg on the lift, switch, roll, and switch legs. Roll. You get that balance at the top. Switch. I'm not even sure which one we're on. You know, I'm obviously probably missing. We'll do 1 more each way. My counting is so bad. You guys all know this. Come back up and balance. Roll the shoulder blades down. Lift up out of the pelvis. And then roll yourself vertebra by vertebra into the mat, dropping your pelvis into neutral. Release the arms back alongside the ears as the legs go at a high diagonal. Circle the arms around to bring the legs back to tabletop. Inhale. And exhale. Legs stay super glued together. Arms, legs lengthen. And exhale, bring it in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. 3. 2. 1 more. Lengthen. And circle all the way in. And relax it all the way down. Your head rocks side to side. Bring the legs back to tabletop. Extend the legs up to the sky. Hands up. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders as you extend your left leg long. Grab gently behind the right thigh and a little double pull the leg. Scissor, pull, pull. You can also grab up towards your ankle. If your pelvis is staying in neutral, you could also reach your fingertips towards the front edge of the mat, wherever it feels best, wherever your abs are doing all the work. And then maybe play with tucking your pelvis versus being in neutral and see where do your abs feel it more. And then stay where that is happening. Personally, for me, it's when they're in neutral and not in a tuck, but maybe it's different for you. Hold the right leg up, keep the left leg long, pulse the leg in, pull in, in. My leg does not want to go straight, but we're gonna do my best. And then switch legs. Pull in, in. 3, 2, last one, both legs up. Hug it in and relax. Bring your feet back down to the mat for a minute and just regroup into your neutral. Let go of any tension. Bring the fingertip touch behind the ears. Collarbone is wide. And right leg into tabletop. Left leg up to tabletop. Extend the legs up to the sky. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Glue the heel to the toes part or keep your legs in parallel. And then inhale to let your legs lengthen out to your point of control. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to drag the legs back up. Elbows stay wide to the sides. If it's too much for the upper body, you put your head on the mat and release your arms to your sides. 3 more here. Can you lift your pelvic floor to lift your legs up? Think pelvic floor activation as you float the legs back up, dipping your belly in deeper. 1 more time. That's how you really get those low abs. And hug it all the way and relax. Let your head rock side to side. Shoulders relax. Then we'll come into crisscross. Legs back to tabletop. Hands behind the ears. Float the head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend your left leg long. Twist to bring the left shoulder in the direction of the right knee. Rotate back to center. And twist the other side. And back to center. So pelvis is still. You bring the bottom rib up and over to the opposite hip. Shortening the space between the rib and the hip as you twist. And then back to neutral. Elbows stay wide. Exhale as you twist. Exhale. And let's stay over to the right, keeping the left leg long. Let's bring the right leg up to the sky and lower the right leg and lift the right leg. Oh, that's not even fun. Lower and lift. One more. Bring it up, back to table, switch to the other side. Extend the left leg up and then lower and lift. Lower and lift. One more. And bring it back up, like stable, bring it all the way back in and relax. Oh man, that one wasn't fun. Or was it?
No.
It was not fun. Stir the knees and the hip sockets for a moment, let go of any tension there. And then circle back. And bring it back to center, bringing the feet down to the mat. Take the hands up to the sky, walk your feet to the frontish edge of the mat. As you roll up onto your sit bones, and then roll back halfway to place your forearms on the mat. Lift yourself up out of your collarbone, and then you'll bring your legs to the table. Squeeze the thighs together, collarbone is wide. And then let the knees swivel over to the right, draw a circle down, around, up, hold at the top, kick the legs to the sky, rebend the legs. Twist around, down, up at the top, extend the legs up, rebend. Back to the right, down, around, center, extend, in, down. Now you can keep your legs all the way extended. We're gonna do 3 more. So if you want the legs extended, they can just stay long as you twist down, around, up, and hold. Collarbone is wide. Twisting down, around, up, and hold. 2, all from the low abs. Pilates Hotties, it's not sunny today, and it's amazing. I never thought I'd be happy for the sun to hide behind the clouds. Bring it all the way back up to the sky, placing the feet on the mat, and roll all the way up. Feels good? Yeah. Okay. Roll halfway back. Right leg to tabletop, left leg to tabletop. Extend tap the right toes out to the front edge of the mat, and lift, left, and lift. And maybe if this doesn't feel like it's hard enough, bring your hands above your head. You feel your abs? Let's do 2. So the shoulder blades down. And last one. And bring both legs up. Place the feet on the mat. Fingertips behind the hips. Roll the shoulders down. Take the heels down. Tuck your pelvis slightly. And lift the hips. Shift your weight backwards. Bend your elbows halfway and straighten. Bend the elbows and straighten. And roll up the PA away from you. Way. And lean your body backwards. Sway. Bend and straighten. Bend. Come down and bend and hold. And tiny press. Press. Keep lengthening your neck up out of your shoulders for 5. And last one, straighten the arms, bringing your knee all the way down, and then just stretch your arm across. Like the sun kind of wants to come out, but the clouds are like, chill, you've been on full blast for too long. And then other side. And then release. And come to lay on your right side. But I also feel like maybe it's because like the sand is coming from the Sahara and we're going to be in a dust storm soon. Is that tout vrai? C'est vrai, le poussière, que le vent bientôt? What? The poussière, vent ici, bientôt? It's not going to be fun, I think, guys. The mask is going to be for real because we're going to be having a mask to breathe outside. Okay, so your head can be propped in your hand or all the way down, your choice. Bring the feet 1 inch forward, push the top hip away. Lift the top leg in line with the hip. So this is our standing width position. Flex foot as you sweep the leg forward. Feel how your oblique is controlling that leg forward. Point and sweep it back. Flex to bring it forward. And point and sweep it back. Very simple movement. but lots of control. You'll have that obliquus helping to stabilize you on the top. The bottom oblique is helping to stabilize you. Lifting up off of the mat. Can you wrap the ribs into the body? Flex to bring it forward and point to sweep. This next one's gonna stay all the way back. Get longer out of the leg. Push the hip so it's getting away from the ribs, and then feel your glute engage and then a little kickback, tiny kickback. For 5. Last one, bringing it back to center, keeping it hip width, get longer, and draw little circles here. Keep the leg just stirring inside the hip socket, the knee tracking forward, and reverse. Shoulders relax away from the ear. Hold, bottom leg is gonna come up to meet it, and lower. Bottom leg lift, and lower. You can also have your kickstand hand. So if you don't want the kickstand hand, you bring it to your hip for 4, 3, 2, last one, lift and hold, and lower both legs down. Bend, don't bend the knees yet. Spiral the top leg open. Lengthen the leg to the sky, flex to bring it down. Lift, and flex and pull. Side work is my favorite, friends. I love these exercises. All these years later, I still love to do these ones. Lengthen up and hold, spiral the thigh open, and then stir. So you really feel your inner thigh helping to lengthen that leg up and stir it around in the hip socket. And reverse. Still tightening up the glute. Shoulders relax. Holding it here, flexed foot comes forward in line with the hip, and then it sweeps back up to the sky. Left foot brings it forward and sweep it up. 3. Do you remember when this one used to be hard, and does it feel like it's easy now? Not easy, but it's not the killer that it used to be. We're gonna bring it back down to hold it in front of the hip, and then little tiny bend straight in. Bend straight, and micro bend to the knee and press. Keep pushing your hip backwards for 3. Last one. Sweep the leg back. Now you can bend your knees. Keep pushing your top hip away from you. Ankles are in line with your tailbone. Angle the ankles up. Open the top knee and close. So as much as you're feeling your glute, feel how your obliques are helping to support you here. Keep drawing your belly into your spine. You get a squeeze at the top. Hold the knee open and tiny pulses up. Up, hold, up, hold. Strengthening up the booty. 5. And last one. Drop the knee to the knee and then extend the top leg out. You just drop the knee down and then kick up and back at a diagonal. Down, kick up, back, and squeeze. And squeeze. And hold the next one out. And tiny stirs here. Lift the leg a little bit higher, tiny stirs. Get it longer from the hip. Can you get really long out of your waistline? And reverse. And then bring that knee back in and lower it all the way back down. Prop yourself up on your bottom forearm. And we'll bring the legs a little bit to the front edge of the mat. So a little more in your banana shape as you roll back on the booty cheek. Extending the arm up to the sky. Squeezing the thighs together as you lift both legs. And then almost touch them down to the mat in slow motion. And they lift back up. In slow motion, they go down. Lift, slow motion, 2 more. Lift up out of your shoulder. And then hold them to the sky. Pull the knees into the chin. Kick the legs to the sky. In, extend. 1 more. extend, hold, lower the right leg to the mat and pull it back up. Just the right leg lower and lift. Inner thigh, oblique for 4, 3, 2, lift up. Last one, lift and hold, and lower both legs down. Swivel your head to the other side, and up to the other side. Lower yourself all the way down to the mat, legs long. Head, whatever position you took on the other side. Push the top hip away. Float the top leg up in line with the hip. Get long, sweep the leg forward, point and sweep. Wrap the ribs in, and point and sweep. Flex and bring it forward. So remember, this is the stance that you'd be walking in. It's just hip width apart. It's not going up, it's not going down. It's tracing that line forward and back. The next time it stays back, get longer through the leg, engage the glute, keep the hips stacked, and tiny pulses back. And you pulse back. Keeping the body really long and straight in your neutral position, and you'll sweep the leg back in line with the hip, making the leg a little bit longer and little stirs here. Can you pull your belly in a little bit deeper? And then reverse. Some micro circles, tightening up the bump. Hold here, bottom leg is gonna lift and lower, lift and lower. So you have your kickstand hand if you need it, or it's on your hip, wherever you're gonna get the most out of that inner thigh. And last one, and lower both legs. Let's spiral the top thigh open, extend the leg up to the sky, and flex and pull it down. Extend to the sky, flex and pull. And lift and lower. 2. Last one, keeping it up, spiral the thigh open and stirs to the sky. Shoulder relax away from the ear. You see Sharif was just watching us. Not anymore though, he laughed and walked away. Sharif will come and look at us, but not do it with us, and reverse it. Pulling the abs in, and then flex the foot, get longer out of the thigh, keep the hips stacked as you lower the leg to come in line with the hip, and sweep the leg back open. In line with the hip, and sweep the leg back up. Forward and lift. 2. Last one. Lift. Oh, bring it back in front, sorry. And then tiny bend, straighten, press, press. Pushing the hip backwards, leg forward, keeping the leg in line with the hip for 3, 2. Last one, sweep it back in, bend the knees, heels in line with the tailbone, float the thighs up, open the top knee, and close. Lift and lower. And sweep up and down. Keeping the hips stacked, you get a hold and a little burn in the booty on the way at that hold up. And we'll pulse the leg open, pulse up, up. Remember, the top hip is pushing away from the ribs for 5. Relax the shoulders. And then we rotate the knee down, point the toe, and kick the leg up at a diagonal. It comes down, and then it comes slightly behind the body. Wherever you're getting your glute popped up off of the hamstring. The rest of the body is staying very still. Your abs are still staying drawn in. Your ribs are still staying knit together, which for me is always a challenge. And then the leg will stay up, extended long, and draw little circles. Make sure you feel it in your bum. If not, get your leg up a little bit higher. And reverse it. And last one, bring it all the way back in. And lower the legs down. Prop yourself up onto your bottom forearm. Legs are long. Shift back onto the glute. Extend the arm to the sky. Lift the body up a little bit higher. And then the legs together, they go up. And then resist as they're coming down to the sky. Up and down. Long neck. Lift and control the down. Don't let gravity cheat you on the way down. Holding the legs up to the sky, the knees draw to the chin and extend. Push up out of your bottom forearm. You guys all look amazing. And then hold the legs out. The bottom leg is gonna go down and lift. Lower and lift. And you're balancing right on that left hip. Feels superb. For 4, with control. 3. Get longer on those toes. 2. Last one, lift and hold, and lower the legs all the way down. What time is it? Okay, so let's come around. We'll stretch the hip in a minute, but let's do the plank, and then we're gonna stretch the hip. So, Neil, you ready?
Yes.
So first we'll come into whatever plank position you've decided that you're gonna do today. And then extend the legs long. Draw the abs up and in, and Neil's on. Plank.
When Barack came back to Chicago for summer break, we skipped the sublet thing and he moved straight into my place. We were now learning to live as a couple. Also, Barack got to know my family in a more intimate way. He'd hang out at my parents' place. He'd talk sports with my dad, help mom carry groceries from the garage. It was a good feeling. My brother Craig decided to vet Barack in the most thorough way he could by including him in a high-octane basketball game with a group of ex-college players. Craig's opinion mattered. He knew how to read people, especially in the context of the game. Barack passed the test. Craig said he was smooth on the floor, knew when to pass, but wasn't afraid to take a shot when he was open. He's no ball hog, Craig said, and he's got guts. 3, 2, 1.
Downward dog. Take a breath in your downward dog. We're gonna sweep the right leg up to the sky. We're gonna come back into our plank, draw the knee into the chest, pull the knee out into the abs, and then drop your shin to the mat. We're gonna take a little stretch here in your pigeon. Are we gonna have to do Barack's book now, Neil?
We'll talk.
And then if it feels good, you can lean into it, take a breath here.
Only because I kind of enjoy, I mean, it's like I don't get to listen to women very much, so. I like Michelle's book.
Yeah, it was good. It is good. One more breath there. And then we'll bring the hands to the mat. Roll the back toes under, draw the abs in, and we're gonna take that right leg back up to the sky into that three-legged dog. And then bring the right foot down to the mat, sweeping the left leg up to the sky. Lengthen up the toes. And then draw the knee to the chest as you come into your plank. Pull the knee up into your belly, and then drop the shin to the mat into your pigeon. Squaring the hips. And then once it feels good, you can lean into it. Does it feel all right, Eva? It won't. You feel it in. And just melt wherever it feels all right for your body. And square the hips. One more breath here. And start to make your way back up onto our hands. Roll the back toes under. Draw the abs in. And then take that leg back up to the sky. And bring that foot back down to the mat and pedal your knees out. Pressing the floor away from you, lifting your sits bones a little bit higher. And then pressing the heels back, Micro bend the knees. Lift the sit bones a little bit higher as you begin to now walk your hands towards your toes. And hang out in your forward fold. Let the head be heavy. The arms can sway. Micro bend the knees. And then draw the abs in to slowly start to roll your spine up to restacking, vertebra by vertebra to longer, taller, and stronger. And before we started, rolling the shoulders down. You roll your neck around, whatever feels good. Let go of any tension here. And then ground your feet down, hip width apart. Press the floor away from you, get a little bit longer and taller. Take the next big inhale up. And exhale. Nice work, Pilates Hotties. Merci for coming to class. Merci, Iba.
Merci.
Nicole, what happened with your hard drive?
Stop.